Okay. I was talking to my friend the other day, and we were just coming up with lists of things that in our 20s that we struggled with a lot. Still in my 20s, but like that I could have asked for help for, or that I struggle so much, and I wish someone had a guide to how I was supposed to live my 20s. But one of the things that we talk about now, like that has also been growing a lot, is depression and anxiety. A few steps that I know that helped me to release my anxiety, and I still have anxiety, like, but I'm saying this is just general anxiety, not like anxiety that is clinically diagnosed. Like if you were diagnosed with extreme like anxiety disorder to a point where you need medication to live your day-to-day life, because it's such a it really affect the way you live your day-to-day life. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that word. One thing that has helped me when I was struggling so much is, I know people say this a lot, but like honestly, and I'm saying that to myself as well too, like go outside when it's sunny. The rain can also make it very, when it's so gloomy, it makes you sad. I don't know why. For me, like it makes me sad, but I love the rain also. The days where I don't go to work, and if I call off, like if I took the day off for work and I sit inside, and I love when it rains, but I love the sun more. Like if you're feeling it, go outside, go for a walk. You don't have nobody to talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. And I know it's weird. Listen, bring your headphones, put your put music on, or a podcast. Not even just that, just like you can also be in silence. And I know it's kind of weird to say that, especially when you have your thoughts are racing, and the only thing you can hear louder is your thoughts more than anything else. But I promise you, sometimes you just need to go outside. You just need to go and sit down on the grass and be outside. Another thing, like just walking, and even the walk is supposed to calm you down sometimes, but the walk, while you're walking, all you hear is thoughts racing through your mind. Another thing that helped me with my anxiety, but I'm also one of those people, I will try anything and everything. If I'm feeling down, I just like, especially if I can get up, if my 2 feet is still walking, still not my, if my 2 feet is still liable for me to walk and move around, I'm moving around. Move your body, because your body needs to be, you need to move your body. I don't even know how I can say this, but like it is very important, especially when you're feeling depression, anxiety. Like one of the most important things is to move your body. Talk to strangers. And I know we don't like talking to strangers. Sometimes I love talking to people, but sometimes I just, we don't like talking to strangers all the time, but like talk to strangers. Do something that's something normally you wouldn't do on a day-to-day basis. And then two, like one, I saw a video online about taking up spaces. It's so important. Like do the most awkward things to learn how to be more yourself in public. Just do the things that people would say that are weird, is unexpected. Like if that means putting your headphones on and start singing loud, if you have to skip. Honestly, when you're walking on the road, just start skipping. Do the most awkward stuff. Like I do the most I listen, one thing I do, and I've just noticed that people don't like people who, after every set in the gym, they start to dance. Like, they do their little dance. That's me. I'm always doing my little dance. Yeah. I'm always in my head singing. I can't sing. But you can't tell me that when I'm at the gym. You can't tell me that with a microphone. I love karaoke. But back to, like, anxiety. But yeah, one thing I've struggled a lot, like, and I still do here and there, like, I struggle with anxiety. And my anxiety comes from before, like, when I realized what my anxiety actually came from. It came from, like, really not being sure about myself and being seen. And I struggled with that I didn't even realize I had anxiety in that way. I think it was when I become so conscious of myself, that's when my anxiety started, because I swear to God, I wasn't even like that before. I didn't care. I said whatever that came through my head. I am a walking intrusive thought. And I have been doing so much better, actually. I kept my mouth shut today when I had an opinion. But no, but like I'm more considerate and I'm more thoughtful when it comes to like people feelings and stuff. But what was I saying? Oh my god, Claudia, stay in one topic. ADHD, it's words, I swear to God. What else? Yeah, hold on, give me a minute. I don't remember what I was talking about. Okay, I did my eyebrows, but I think I was saying like being conscious of yourself can cause you to have sorry, my camera's moving, can cause you to have like really high level of anxiety as well, because you're so worried about saying the wrong thing around the wrong people. You're so worried about being yourself, and that like it really makes you really compress your personality and not be fully yourself. And even that, like sometimes you don't even know who you are, because even for me, even though I think I know who I am, but I'm not sure I know completely who I am. Like I think I'm still adding to myself. I'm still adding. Of course, I'm still adding and I'm still learning. I'm pretty young, but but like I am. I'm adding to who I am and I'm growing as a person. So I know that like I don't fully, I think I know who I am, but I know I have more to learn. But when I finally kind of had an idea, give me a second. Okay, and I meant suppress your personality. I said compress. I think it's kind of the same thing. Let me look. Did I say, so I did say that. Comprehension. Oh, well, not really. But anyway, yeah, like when you become really conscious of yourself, you can suppress your personality or the part of yourself that people would love the most, only to fit in or whatever. But like I was saying, like I think I have an idea, and I'm doing quotation mark because you think you know so much now. Who said that? It was like someone said that like at 18 you think you know what you want, at 20 you think you know who you are. Like it goes in phases and stuff. You think you know who you are, and then when you start learning and learning more, and you're like, man, when you look back, I had no idea who I am really. But I think for now, like I know, and I need to move. Well, I need to do my eyebrows and go, because I have to go somewhere. I think I have an idea who I am, and I'm learning, and I'm learning to add to learning and figuring it out also. But I honestly, if you do not allow yourself to like be the most awkward part of yourself, to find what is it that works for you and who you are, then you're never gonna learn, because you're forever gonna try to please everyone else and please people who don't really care about you. It's not even, we think people care so much about us. Honestly, it's more like we care more about ourselves than anybody else cares about us, because we really think people are paying so much attention to us when they're really not. Everyone has their own idea of life and have their own problems. But I don't know. I don't understand how we got here to begin with, to be honest. It's just such a weird concept and such a weird thing. Anyway, but so one of the things that I did when my anxiety became so bad, I kind of like I did connect a lot with nature, and I was living in a space where I could have done that too. I took a lot of walks. I would go hiking with my dog, and I know people who are not familiar with that. Meditation helped me so much. And meditation is not just like, I've said that in my previous videos, that meditation is not not just, follow me on YouTube, by the way. I have my podcast on YouTube. That's where I said my meditation, that's where I've said that before. But follow me on YouTube, Embrace Your Curiosity. That's where you listen to me talk more. And I just do a little bit of here and TikTok here. Just little clips. But, I did meditation meditation for some, like meditation may be hard for some people, and I think people have an idea of meditation where you sit quietly and you sit there for hours and or minutes and on, but you can, meditation doesn't have to be you just sitting there and just doing nothing. Meditation, simply a way of meditating, is also talking to yourself. I just thought about that. Yeah, it's also talking to yourself, venting to yourself, finding out what could be the issue. The person that knows you best is you, or you can find a way to know yourself best. You know yourself more than anyone. You know when you're lying to yourself. You know when that's not true. You know yourself more than anybody else that knows you. So yeah, like a part of it was I walked, I meditated sitting down, I meditated walking, journaling, I'm meditating venting, like in a way. And what else? There's all forms of meditation. And what else that I did that was helpful? And and then I practice what I practice more, and what I think a lot of people need to, is gonna go back to knowing yourself. You need to have one of the best relationship you can have is the relationship you have with yourself. I don't want to make this video long, but I want to be really quickly. But like, yeah, like one of the best relationship you can have is with yourself. It's the best. Like you have really good friendship. You have a great relationship with your parents, great relationship with your partner. But the best relationship that you can have is with yourself. And if you don't take it from me, you can take it from any like powerful leaders out there, or like meditation teachers or coaching or mentor. Like the best relationship is you can have is with yourself, because you know what you need. You just haven't had time to actually study yourself so much to a point where you allow your intuition to guide you. And I know they say intuition is a woman thing. No, intuition is an everyone thing. You have your intuition when you making business plans, you making business decision, work decision. Who guides you? Like who else? So I mean, for the people who have their parents, whatever. But like honestly, in general, it's you. I'm not doing too much. It's you. You should be your best friend, and you should be your partner in crime. You need to create a relationship with yourself more than anything. It's okay to take everyone else's advice into consideration, but yours is the most important thing you should prioritize. So that's what I did. Like I whenever I needed something, instead of having to go to people for an answer, I sat with myself and I asked myself, and I'm like, because the only person that's going to affect is you. Like the decision you make doesn't affect everyone else around you, unless in some way it is, but really, like, what's going to make you happy, what's going to make your life easier, it's you. No one else is going to do it for you but you. So that's one of the things I did. And then I know it's hard, and this is something I'm pretty sure we've heard multiple times, is stop caring so much about what other people think. It's hard. And for people who are raised in strict cultures, that's all they can do is care so much about what other people think. But if you can start practicing to not care so much about what other people think for you, oh my God, the pressure that would be lifted off your chest is freaking enormous. Ugh, the words are not coming out. But yeah, like practice not caring about what people think, and it starts with having that relationship with yourself. Practice, because I can't remember the quotes that I've read that helped me. I have them on my phone, but one of the thing, and I've said this before in a previous video that Jay Shetty said, and it's a quote from somewhere else that he took as well too. I'm not what you think. I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. And it's so crazy that we do live in a perception of ourselves, and we care so much what our parents think, our families, our friends, because they mean such a great deal to us. So we put their opinions above ourselves, and we are on the bottom. and that affect the way you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, the way you see yourself, and the value that you put on top of yourself. But that, yeah, like that, a lot of that stuff come from anxiety, and anxiety can come from a lot of things: not knowing what you want to do, or the word purpose, what your purpose in life and why you are here. Anxiety can come from not being supported by your family or fitting in, having friends. Anxiety can come from a lot of places and a lot of things, but you just have to find what works for you and that makes life easier for you. Like I joke around a lot, and I have a really dark sense of humor, and I'll say like, what's the point of being here? I ask this question all the time, and I'm like, if I could take the easy way out, honey, I would, and I probably still can. But I listen. Okay, anyway. But let me stop talking. But yeah, like, and she would always say this to me: I live here and I struggle. I want to see how beautiful and how wonderful life can get. And it stuck with my head. Like, she's like, I've been here for 26 years. Let me see how good and beautiful the work can get. And life can get wonderful, and life can be amazing as long as you put the work. Of course, you got to create that life for yourself by working and putting the work now. But we all struggle with we are young, or we want to live our life a certain way. We want to travel, we want to do all of this, and we want to have a great friendships, great community, and great people around us. It's kind of hard to balance. And someone that makes sense to us, like that made sense, something that made sense to me, someone said, is that there's no such thing as balance, because there are times where you're gonna prioritize this thing more than you prioritize that thing. There are times where family might be the most important thing right now versus your work, versus your job. And although family is important, and there are times where your work, your purpose is more important than family, or more important than their needs now. And I don't want to keep rambling because I'm gonna forget my thoughts. But like, honestly, it's just, with anxiety comes from a lot of places. You got to find a root to what's causing your anxiety. You have to find a way to work on that, because if not, like, it can become something so much bigger. And you know, when the dark thoughts start to come, it's kind of hard to reel them in, but it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's possible. It's possible to reel them in, but then when they start to come in, you know, it gets crazy. It really does. Unfortunately, it does. And the world we live in doesn't make it any easier. People scare you in so many ways. But I want to say this too, from when I got out of my little anxiety space. I had the support to be able to stay at home, but only because I was also like working really hard, and I was struggling at the time too, but I no longer wanted to be at that space I was in. That's why I did it. I was able to take, how many months did I take off? Was it like 6 months or 5 months? I think it was around 6 to 5 months I took off. Yeah, it was 6 to 5 months that I took off. And I was able to like shut everybody out, like everyone out. I was able to shut everybody out. But I had that privilege to do that for myself, but only because, like, I'm not gonna go deep in it, but I did. I was able to do that, but I was stressed as well too. I was going through so much in that period of my life, but it was the best period of my life, even though I wasn't working and stuff. And you know, sometimes when you don't work, you feel like you don't mean anything, or you're not contributing to society in some way. You feel so much lesser. But I felt really amazing. I felt great. I was could do that again. But yeah, I shut everyone out, and I did everything that I should have done for myself. And that's how I was like, you know what, why am I living to a false reality that's not even my own? Half of this stuff I didn't even ask to be here. Yeah, and I got that. That worked out for me perfectly. Oh, it does. It did. It worked out for me perfectly. But once in a while, like, I'll have anxiety just about anything, but I manage it, and I learned how to manage it because I learned what works for me. You know, I haven't had a taste of depression in a while, and I'm not calling it in. Oh, like when I say I'm not ever calling that in, but because this is supposed to be quick and easy. But yeah, I had a taste of depression, and I never want to feel that thing ever again. It wasn't fun. So for the people, I've heard people who struggle with depression for about, was it like my old roommate? She struggled with depression for nearly 3 years or 4. And I'm like, what? How are you still here? But that's people that are fighting for their life. You fight, honey. Cause honey, I don't know. I had a taste of depression. That was it for me. Contemplated, but yeah, I had a taste of a little slight taste of depression, and I didn't want to stick around. But because we gotta go. It doesn't need to be extra. Just a quick little sip and gone. I didn't even do much. Oh, don't forget the powder. What's this saying? Yeah. So do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. Be around. I'm so happy at this stage right now. I don't have any kids because I get the chance to do everything that I want to right now without the obligation of having to take care of someone else. The only thing I have to take care of is my pet. She's out there crying. She wants to come out. She wants to come in, but that's the only thing I have to take care of. And eventually, I love Bella, but when she that's the only person I have to take care of. Her and myself, and eventually wanting to like buy my parents a house and things like that. But honestly, yeah, I don't have any kids at this moment. I get a lot of wiggle room to do the things I want and finding myself more by going to places and doing things. But that is the privilege of my life. Other people don't have the same privilege, and I can recognize that. And especially if you're still here and you're still breathing, that's just another day for you to try to see if you can get better. And I know it's not easy. Trust me. I know, because I've struggled in that way in so many things, and I'm so glad I'm out of there, because I felt like if I didn't have my support and I wasn't who I am, I probably wouldn't have be here. Like, I don't even think I would have lasted that long, honestly. But find ways to make things work for you. Things can get better, and it's so sad to say, but do not what's the word? Do not give in to your thoughts. Do not give in to your thoughts, because they're temporary. They're just a floating cloud. They don't stay for long. Because there are days you have really good times, and there are days you just have bad times. And then out of those bad times, create a routine or a thing that makes it work for you. I haven't tasted depression because I go to places and to things that makes me happy. I refuse to go around people or things that doesn't bring me joy. And then one thing because I know now, like, a lot of things have nothing to do with me. What people say to me or how they react and stuff like that has nothing to do with me. So I don't give in to a lot of those things. They don't bother me. I'd be like, you have 24 hours to feel however you need to feel, and then you need to let it go. Don't think over it, because the more you think about it, the bigger it gets. Unfortunately. Yeah. But let me do this quickly. I didn't do anything much. I was talking while doing this makeup. It was not even makeup. I gotta go out really quickly and go and do some stuff. But yeah, like, work on it. Work on it. But yeah, my time, I serve my time with that. Better never again, hoping never again, praying never again. because it's not easy. You know, and then, you know, the people who don't experience it won't ever know, because they just feel like, especially for people who just think mental health is some quick fix. It's not. It really isn't. It's not. But what was I saying? You said not too much, and then you start to do too much. Not too much, and then you start to do too much. Okay. Okay. You know what I do? But yeah. Sometimes this work. Make it work for you, okay? I use a sand contour thing to line up my lips. I like the color versus the pencil one. I don't. It's a little too dark. See, but it lines up my lips perfectly fine too. Yeah. Okay, I gotta go. Is it raining outside? I think so. I think it is raining outside. I've never actually done it without the link on. I don't know why that came to my head. Okay. Alright, I'm done. I'm gonna go now. Thank you for listening to me chatting about, well, it's not about nothing. It's very important, but it's kind of about nothing. But bye.